Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Above the Bar podcast, where each week we belly up to the bar with a new guest, find out what they do, who they are, and what makes them great. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the Above the Bar podcast. I don't know what that was. I think Heather just had her blender running or something like that. We have with us the lovely, wonderful. She already knew I was going to say these things because she has special psychic gifts. She reads tarot cards. She's going to tell you if your pet is sad, how to heal your pet. Heather has all these amazing gifts, and I love it when I meet people that have been able to tap into this part of their person and have been able to tap this gift. I think we all have it. We just don't know how it works for us. And there's a funny thing. We'll see if it's still going on. That if Nathan's watching, my buddy Nathan will tell you that this happens every time to me and nothing I can do about it. So make sure we give a warm welcome to the lovely, the Advizer Heather Lawerance. You didn't know you were getting applause, did you?
I love them applause.
So Heather and I were talking beforehand, and it's still happening. Hopefully it'll go away. We've got a crackle as she's talking. Now, if you know Nathan says this all the time. Every time I have anyone on my show that has any type of a gift, any type of deals with paranormal, my show starts to mess up. And I have nothing to do with it. I don't change anything. So this is happening again. But this is also, as this is going on, for those of you that have asked me questions about, well, what goes on the backside of your show? What happens on the back end? We've got a live going on right now. We just hit 1,000 people following us over on TikTok. So we have our TikTok live going on. I'm going to keep it going. I don't know if anybody finds it, and then we tell them all, hey, this is where you need to go to find us. I have no idea how TikTok live works. I have no idea what any of it is. Somebody sent me like snapping heart fingers. I don't know what that means. They were like, oh, it was the first one. And somebody sent me a rose. I was like, this is amazing. So we started getting gifts already. So you can say something, Heather. Are you happy to be here?
Yeah, I never got a gift on TikTok.
I'm like, this is so cool. Like the TikTok gifts started showing up. So it's something different.
Yeah, I'm still back on what you said about the crackle because it's really weird. I've done, I never thought about it. I know it happens to my friend Debbie. She's a medium, but it happened to me once before on TV, and it was live, and like the lights went off, and they were like, yeah, it's the spirits letting you know that they're there. That also, I think what it is, to be really honest, it's a confirmation that I am psychic.
There's definitely something to it. Now, as we always say, we're going to do a little bit of our house cleaning here as I adjust my TikTok live that's going on. Make sure all of you that are watching us right now, you share this to all your Facebook yard sale sites. Get this out there so everybody knows who Heather Lawerance, the Advizer, is. Look at the bottom of the screen. You see Heather Lawerance, the Advizer. She spells that ADVIZER. Make sure you're sharing this to all this. We got 16 people watching already on our live, which is awesome. We love to have everybody join us. Make sure you also subscribe to all the Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch that we're on. And if you'd like to listen to our audio, make sure you give it a share, like, follow, and go ahead, hit everybody up. Let's get some more house cleaning done. As always, are you a football fan, Heather?
I like the Super Bowl. I'm one of those football fans. I like it's like,
You like the final game. You're not trying. You just want to see the end of it. Are you the same person?
I'm a commentator because I used to be a reporter. So when I watched the Dodgers to my mom, I'm like, what's their salary? Why do they look like that? Why do they cut their hair?
You get them all. So we're right where this big Raven sign here is. We do a thing called sticker and a cause. So if you know somebody that's supporting something, whether it be another podcast, a charitable organization, whatever it is, if they hit me up on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, they're all the Above the Bar podcast. Even our email is the Above the Bar podcast. They hit me up on that and they say, hey, I've got this thing. And they send me a sticker. Well, I put it up on the board
Oh.
and I read about whatever their cause is during that episode.
I have a cause. I don't have a sticker though.
Well, you got to get a sticker now. We need a
Yeah, I have
sticker.
a foundation. I didn't even know that. I would have had
Well, what's your
stickers.
foundation?
Called the Black and Sully Save a Life Foundation. It is for animals in need. And I
Okay.
started my nonprofit about 7, 8 months ago.
Now, what
So,
made you do that?
yeah. Oh, what made me do? Oh
Yeah.
gosh. Well, oh, I'm sorry. So what made me do it is this: I was a volunteer at the Agura Animal Shelter for 14 years of my life, and I. Anyway, I would, this is a really long story, but I'll go to make it short as I can. But anyway, obviously working there, it's a lot of things happen. And anyway, I met these two dogs, Black and Sully, which I did animal communication there, and these things called the magic bath. And so I try to help the dogs that were in danger of being either put down or try to correct their behavior by talking to them and giving them information. And I would get information on which dogs, unfortunately, were on the list. So the dog that I helped prior would tell me the next dogs. Like they'd be like, that one. I'd be like, okay. So Black and Sully were brought in by a homeless woman. And anyway, obviously they were traumatized by that. And then something about this, they ended up into quarantine and getting in trouble for nothing. I mean, they got in trouble for nothing. Anyway, I'm going to go into this because I'll start to cry. But anyway, so Black and Sully didn't make it through. And I think that changed my life forever because I just watched their demise sort of.
Aww.
But after communicating to them, I learned that they made a sacrifice. But anyway, I didn't want anyone to forget who they were because they were amazing. They were like rock stars. So
So that's where the foundation came from. And I want to get into that where you said they told you and they talked to you about it. So I'm curious about that and how that all came to be. And I really want to get into how you discovered that you have this gift to be able to do these things. So again, sticker in a cause, folks. Also, if your media feels like you need somebody to give it a hand or psychic touch because it's just no one's finding you, make sure you reach out to Media by Dibs. That's Media by Dibs, DIBS. He can be found on Facebook and Instagram, and his LinkedIn is Andrew Dibble. You reach out to him and you mention to him belly up to the bar, and he's going to give you a 10% discount on your first order and a free consultation. Now, I also want to bring up something with Dibs, and I don't want to get into anything down, but back on December 1st, we had a gentleman on. His name was Chris Larson. Chris ran a foundation up in Maine called 22 a Day Vet Lives Matter. For those of you that don't know this, and we've talked about this many times on the show, myself being a Marine, we lose 22 veterans to suicide every day. This is a fact. Yeah. And for those of you who couldn't see Heather, she gave the whoa. A lot of people feel that way.
My nephew, well, he almost did it, but yeah.
So you've experienced it. You've seen
it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Through him, oh my goodness, yeah.
So we lose 22 a day, and Chris was an advocate. Chris was somebody who pushed to help vets that were in this place. Well, Dibs is who introduced me to Chris. Dibs and I were communicating this morning. Chris took his life yesterday. So this was somebody who, yes, this was somebody who had a foundation. This was somebody who knew the signs and knew the dangers and knew what was going on. And he took his life yesterday. So I'm asking everybody who listens to this, everyone who watches this, everyone who's out there, if you know a service member, anybody who may have problems, but for this moment, I'm asking for service members, reach out and do a buddy check. Take a moment and just reach out to that guy or gal who served and say, hey, I'm thinking about you. They may say something like, why are you just thinking about me? But they will appreciate it. You don't know what's going through. Many of us think that service members need to have physical, visible scars to have these issues that are out there. Most of us carry some kind of a scar that's invisible. you don't know what it is. So take a moment for the 22 a day vet lives matter folks. And for Chris, who came on our show, please reach out to another vet and let them know you're thinking about them and just give them a, hey, thinking about you. Do that for us all. All right. So that's done. I don't mean to be Debbie Downer. So now we're going to get into it. All the housekeeping is done, folks. All the other stuff is complete. We're all going to reach out to a vet and we're going to say thanks. But for right now, this is for Heather and all Heather's folks and getting her word out there. So you're out on the left coast. Like, I guess you're in California. I guess you're supposed to be psychic, right?
Yeah. So everyone here is.
Everyone there is in touch with themselves. Right. So how long have you been in? How long have you felt like you've had these gifts?
Well, probably since I was, like 5 or 6, because my sisters called me the Martian. So what I was thinking about that question, because I was watching you post that question, I was like, it made me think that how did it get started? And it started as being what the word I know now is I didn't know then, an empath. So I was empathic first. Empathic was that I was feeling other people's emotions. I didn't know why. And that's the energy would attach me and I would feel their mind, but as a kid, I didn't know what it was. So I think I started out as an empath, but I didn't know I was an empath.
And what is that?
An empath is someone who feels other people's emotions. So I'd be out to dinner with my dad or something. My dad and I'd be like, oh my God, that guy is going through all this stuff. And my dad was like, he's fine. He looks fine to me. I was like, oh no, he's not fine. So that's how it starts, is I would feel something that wasn't mine, but I didn't know that because I'm too young to know that. But I knew, and people thought I was crazy. They were just like, oh, you're over emotional. I'm like, not really. So everything bothers me. I can't even have neighbors because I pick up everybody's energy. So I have things I do to clean up the energy. But I think that's what I knew, because I was like, this doesn't belong to me. This is someone else.
Now, what do you mean by clean up the energy?
Oh yeah, you have to, especially being a reader. So you can do. People have different ways of cleaning it. I do I used to do pranic healing, which is like pulling. You cut cords and you do like you clean your chakras. You're cleaning out the chakras to balance yourself, because the chakras get dirty from other people's energy that they're putting on me. They're not putting it on me, but because I'm helping them solve problems. And I tap into them, so it gets on me. And then every night when I take a shower, I put lavender and like Dead Sea salt, and I scrub. I do clean my chakras in the shower, and then oh my God, I have a lot of. And then after I do that, I take the water and that's left in the cup, and I do like a baptism on myself, and I ask whatever for the healing.
Who are you asking for the healing?
God.
Okay.
God directly. That guy's the only one.
Look, there's nothing wrong. Look, if you've never had that conversation, I don't know what to tell you, but I've had that conversation many times.
Well, I made like a weird pact. I don't know, because I'm Jewish and I ended up going to this church. I go to this church every Friday night, and it's a Brazilian. And I was like, what the hell am I doing here? Well, somebody brought me there, but then I heard God say to me, you need to learn this. And I was like, I do.
Well, that's interesting.
I'm in a church. I'm Jewish, but I even got baptized. It's even weirder.
Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah, and then I would bring the dogs there. So what I did is that's what happened with Black and Sully. And a lot of dogs. So energetically, I'd ask them to show up on Friday, and I'd help them. And then because they were in the shelter, they were. It's hard to say, like afraid of the light, but they wouldn't want to step in it because their self felt bad about who they were. So stepping into a church for them was the ones that were in abuse situations. It was really hard for me because I could feel their energy being there, and I'd be like, you either stay and I'll help you or not. And some of them wouldn't come. So I started working on the dogs at church, and I just put their spirit there and try to help them remove any negative energies on them so they could get out of the shelter. And so that I did. Nobody really knew I did it because the dogs aren't there.
Right. But you felt like you brought their spirit with you.
Yeah, they have to come. They have to agree. Like I've had dogs talk to me. I had one dog. This dog was funny. I was giving the dog a bath because I was on the groom team at the shelter. So they called it the magic bath when I was there because I would do a little healing thing on these dogs. And one dog was like, I don't need your help. I was like, okay.
Now,
He's like,
now
I was like, all right. He got adopted like the next day. He's like, I'm good.
you're
I'm
good.
fine.
Now, what is that? Now just staying with the pet piece for a minute. Um, what does that sound like to you? Like, how does
Right.
that how does that voice come? Like in my mind, I feel like if it's a German Shepherd, it's like we do not need
I
you right now. I'm good.
know.
Or a
I know.
Scotty, it's got the Scottish accent. I'm not going to do a Scottish accent. I can only go do the hoot hoot, and that's about as far as I get with that. But what does that sound like?
That's a great question because it sounds like nothing. So it's because I'd be so if you're hearing voices, you probably need to go to a doctor. I don't hear it. I or like they're not talking. I hear a voice which is probably like spirit talking to me through them. It's their higher self speaking. So it's very I have an answer for this, but it's very hard to say. Um so they hear me more than I hear them. I
Okay.
think hear me because some of them know you. It's just like if you're doing medium work, you have your crown, right? Your crown chakra, everybody has it. Like you said, everybody's got psychic abilities because
Right.
we're born with our psyche. So people don't use them. You use them when you like get it, you use them every day when you're in traffic. You're like, should I go right, left, right, left? That's your intuition telling you that. Anyway, so I can't remember what I was saying.
So how you hear the dog's voices?
Yeah, no, but so uh they okay, so the ones that are like assigned or supposed to get help, they know who you are. They somehow know you. So the first time it happened to me, there was this dog Daisy, and anyway, Daisy, I didn't do the work. Because you have to open up these levels of yourself because it's scary, right? You're like, I don't want to talk to dead people. I don't want to. So I limited myself. I was like, nah, just do the cards. I don't do anything. And people are like, oh no, you actually do things. So then I had a friend and I asked her, I'd bring the dog to her, the energy of the dog. I'd say, well, can you help me with this dog? And one day she was like, what, why don't you just talk to the dog? I was like, cause they're not, I don't know. So one day I was walking down the shelter, down like the corridor, and the dog, every time this dog Daisy, and I threw her a treat. The girl behind me is my friend who knew what work I do. She's like, he doesn't want a treat, he wants to talk to you. I was like, what? And then I was like, okay. And then the dog the dog was telling me stuff, and then telling me not to it needs to go to a certain owner, not the owner that the people think. And the dog was blocking the adoption. He was telling me, I'm blocking this, so you got to help me. Okay.
How is the dog blocking an adoption?
So some dogs, there's stickers on the cars. There's some truth to it to say they chose me, which is true. They do. So there'll be a dog who's really outgoing. Let's say the dog is super outgoing. We bring it in the yard and they meet the people. That outgoing dog starts to look uninterested. The dog is showing you signs that it does not want to go with these people. Then maybe 10 minutes later, another family may come and say, oh, I want to look at that dog. Can I see the dog? The dog all of a sudden is very energetic and hanging out with them, and the dog is like sending you signals, like don't do it. And so you got to be pretty advanced to know this. There are obviously dog trainers who know tail between the legs, the ears pointed. They are giving you signs. Those are signs for someone who's an expert in dog training. But I'm not a dog trainer. I'm a dog whisperer, whatever. And so the dog lets me know. I know it's, how do you say, I hear what they're saying. But then here's the kicker of anyone who's doing any medium work or communication work or your clairaudient. It's called your clairaudient.
Okay.
So I'm clairaudient. I don't say I'm a medium. I say I'm clairaudient.
Now,
so
how's that compared to clairvoyant? What's the difference?
Clairvoyant is someone who sees. I don't see. I don't see anything. I'm like, people are like, I see your aura. I'm like, oh, I don't even know what your aura looks like. Okay, I don't know. I don't even do that. I hear everything. So some people say, I don't know how people see. It's such a gift to be able to see. I don't see anything, but I hear everything. So, but here's the bottom line. When you do this kind of work, what I'm talking about, you have to get confirmation.
Right.
Otherwise, forget it. Because anyone could say they're talking to somebody, but you have to get confirmation. So what would happen is something would happen with the dog, and it would be like in alignment with exactly what I know. And I document it. Okay, I knew exactly what that was going to happen because I didn't know, but I got confirmation that what I heard was exactly what I knew. Exactly. Okay, that's it. And I would record it or make sure that I got it down, not just to show people, but to show myself, because people think you're crazy, right? You're like, oh, you talk to a dog, but I'm like, well, how would I know that this and this would happen? That's how you know.
Interesting. See, that's wild to me. I mean, because I guess I kind of get what you're saying. With a lot of it, it makes sense that these things start to pop up and you start to pick up on it.
Right. Well, there's a light that some people see. So dead people or animals, because they're on a higher frequency. So everybody has a crown like you do, and the crown, there's a light, and some people there's a light, strong light in some people's crowns. So the dead people, they like people are like talk to celebrities. Well, celebrity clearly doesn't know who you are.
Right.
Yeah. They just know a light. So they're going toward the light and talking into the light. That's all they're doing. So it's like a microphone to them. They're like, oh, I'm speaking into you.
Oh, okay. I get that. I see what you're saying.
But I'm looking, like, I remember I talked to Kobe Bryant when he passed, but people are like, and I was like, okay, I'm crazy, but he talked a lot because right after he died, I was thinking about him. I was thinking heavily about him. And he, boom, come in. I was like, what the? This is freaking me out a little bit. He told me some crazy stuff, but he's a very guy.
They said, what did Kobe Bryant tell you?
Well, okay, this is true. Now, I didn't know much about Kobe Bryant. I dated a guy who was a sports memorabilia collector. That's all I know about Kobe Bryant is he loved Kobe. I didn't know anything about Kobe's life whatsoever. So he started quoting stuff from a scripture to me, and I was like, why is this guy, like, what's his problem? I don't even know why he's doing it. And then someone told me, oh, no, he was like at mass before he died. He's very religious. He's not religious. He was into God. He was into all of that. Before he died, he literally was in mass. Before he got out of the helicopter. He came from church to the helicopter. In fact, he was in the church parking lot. I think he got picked up. And he was telling me the story of like Peter, I think is it St. Peter? He's the gatekeeper. He was telling me about that, and then he had a daughter, and he's telling me, go look that up, look up in the Bible, like to make sure. So I did, and it was all about like sort of what happened to him. And then he was telling me, certain things about the guy who the pilot. He said it's not the pilot's fault, but he would specifically tell me to post, and I was like, I don't know. People are gonna think I'm nuts for posting, but he told me in exchange he would help me, and I swear he'd help me a lot with other things. We did some.
That's why. Now, what was the indication that this is Kobe? Like, did he show up at?
I'll tell you what. The first part was I was walking home from the gym because my car was in the shop or something, and he had died maybe the day before. And then I was asking him, or send me a sign. And I had my headsets in, and that song from Space Jam, I'm going to the, and it was like Space Jam was like a million years ago. That came right in my headset, going to the Space Jam. And I was like, okay, this is him. This is definitely him. And then I started running home. So I wanted to run home, saying to my car, I was jogging home. And like my body sped up like as fast as he could run. Like he sped through me like all the way home. I was like, I've never run fast. And then when I got up, and then he pulled all the plugs out of my wall. This guy's really powerful. So again, I asked him, like, this can't be Kobe. And then you can't see, but my plugs and came flying out, and the iPad, everything's flying off the wall. Some spirit moves stuff. I don't know how you do that because you got to be pretty advanced. But he was telling me that he's needed on the other side. And he's sort of doing this movement with the daughter. And anyway, it follows I can't remember the scripture, but it does follow exactly what the scripture said.
That's wild. You're getting a couple of comments here. Pat and I have known each other since at least 9th grade. Happened with his second dog. He says the dog was laying on the floor of the pound with tons of people going by. But when his daughters got to the cage, he got up, stood up against the cage door, and they then came over to him. That's pretty wild. And then James Shear, James is a good friend of mine. If you're in the Albany area and you can ever get to one of the drag brunches, you got to go see all the It's Just a Drag Show folks. Join them. It's a blast. But he says, he wants to know, so dogs come to you when they pass over. And he had his dog Maya, Maia. I probably pronounced it wrong, or Maya. He'll yell at me in a little bit. Crossed over about a month ago. Even though he's here in the Albany area, would that be something that you could say or be able to show to him or tell to him, if the dog is okay when the dog passed over? It is Maya. He says I pronounce it right. Is that something that you
Maya
could see?
Girl or
I'm going to say Maya's a girl.
I can look. You want me to look now?
If you can. Like, how does that work? I don't even know how you would do that.
Let me because
you need to talk to James? Like, I'll bring James on. He's been on the show before.
Is he there now? No, he isn't.
I can send him a link.
It's okay. Oh, did he just send you like a thing? Okay, let's see.
Yeah, he's so we're live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. People that can see it. And he said Maya was a black lab.
Okay, he's not here. Shoot, yeah, I want to ask him questions.
Well, do you want to bring him on here? I'll send him an invite. Let's see if he's got time.
Yeah,
here.
I see dogs like chasing its tail.
Here, let's see if I can get him to come on. James, if you can't, let me know you can't. But I'll send you the link here real quick.
James. I need to get confirmation and ask him because I think I picked up the dog. The dog's like nipping at something. I would have to ask him if the dog did these things.
I just sent James over the link. We'll see if he can jump on.
Okay,
that's interesting. He said he can come on, so he's going to jump on.
Okay, yeah. I would have to
that's an interesting because the dog thing. My wife will tell you. I had my Pete passed away. Pete passed away probably 4 years ago. As I think about it, going on 5. He was 14 years old when he passed, and my wife used to say it all the time. That dog is on death's doorstep when you're not around. The minute you walk in the door, that dog is back on his feet like there's nothing wrong. The minute you walk out the door, the dog lays down, and he had a lot of medical stuff. James, if you're looking for it, I sent it to your Facebook Messenger. So as we're waiting on James, if James can,
he should. I'm picking up some on Pete. Someone's yelling at me. Like he was saying, like, or somebody's saying, like, like you would say his name funny, like change your voice when somebody would call him Pete.
I probably did. I mean,
a vocal change.
Probably he was my buddy for, like we used to call him Parvo Pete.
High pitch or something vocal change. He's showing me like a vocal change.
When
you said his name, he's just telling me when you said the name.
Yeah, that was we used to call him Parvo Pete because when we got him, he was a pup down in North Carolina. Yep, and he had parvo, which, if for those who don't know, parvo is like this horrible disease or bacteria that dogs can get, and when they get it, it actually eats away the lining of their stomach. Look at this!
Parvo Pete.
Look at this Look at this handsome gentleman here.
How are you?
Look at you, James. You do realize something right now, right?
What?
This is the first time we've talked outside of drag.
Yeah, you're probably right.
James is a wonderful drag performer that goes by Sherry Love, and always has the best outfits. Don't tell Amanda Love I said that, but always has the best outfits and is just a ball of fun. And he gets a good haircut every so often. It looks like mine.
I do.
All right. The floor is yours there, James.
Well, I was interested in you coming on this above the bar podcast because I just lost my dog. She was the love of my life for 14 years, and it was the hardest thing to say goodbye to her. She lost the use of her back legs, and I'm just wondering if you feel anything from her.
Oh, well, what I was saying before, I wanted you to be on. So I saw you talk about the back legs, but anyway, I don't know about this. She was showing me some nippy or like trying to like nip or bite her, like a dog chasing its tail. Did she ever? She's showing me like not bad, but like nipping a little bit, like trying to. When did she lose the legs?
Just like the last night that I had her here with me.
Yeah, because but anyway, she was showing me like going in a circle. So not like trying to get at something. I don't know. She was just showing me that when he first said her name, she was showing me like running in a circle, like a dog chasing its tail, sort of, or trying to get. I don't know if she nipped or not nipped, but like
the last night before, in the morning of, she kind of yipped when I picked her up because she couldn't stand, and she was never vocal like that, so I knew there was something wrong with her.
Right. Okay,
so that's the thing that kind of comes to mind when you say that. She just kind of helped a couple times.
Now, so was she like super? Is this like a medium size?
I'm sorry, what?
Like a medium sized dog?
She was about 84 pounds.
And so it's like, I don't know if she wanted to be this or she's showing me this. Like I'm seeing the color black for some reason. But let me look. She's showing me more like a
It's been TAing the whole time.
What do I hear?
Oh, can you hear? I can't hear. What? Are you there?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I muted my mic for a second. I thought I heard a TV or something. I was letting everybody on. I'm letting everybody on TikTok know what we had going on. But
anyway,
we're also TikTok live right now.
She's showing me a black dog for some reason.
Well, she was black.
Oh, okay.
She was a black lab.
A black lab, I got her. That's what I said. You didn't hear me. That's what I was like, oh yeah, I said.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. Yep.
That's what I said. I said she's showing me a black lab. So I definitely see her. Okay, so.
Yep.
We didn't get that confirmation because someone was talking. All right, anyway, that's why I was trying to talk to you and ask you if she was a black lab. So she was showing me herself running in a circle trying to get her tail. But it's more about a dog chasing its tail, frustration. So she's using the word frustration.
Yeah.
Showing me, I'm chasing my tail. It's a black lab chasing their tail. It's shiny coat, shiny, shiny.
Now, I have a question, though. So now, James and I are on the right coast. You're on the left coast. How does that kind of, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, maybe if you were here or you were in the area, how does that communication happen? Like that's such a great distance between the two.
Oh, how I talk to people?
Well, no, like Maya was in New York. You're in California. Like
doesn't matter. Maya's on the other side, so Maya's
okay
right now because she came in right away. I was like the black lab running in a circle. And you didn't hear me say it, but I did. I said there's a black lab. We're gonna go back check that because fact checker. I saw a black lab. This is why I asked him to be here because you have to confirm with me so we know she's here. Because she's here. She's like, I'm running and I just got the chills. So she's running into some but I corrected me by saying no, I'm trying to point out to you the frustration. Okay. So it's all right, got you.
Yeah, because it was hard for her at the end because her back legs, they would just give out and she would fall and then she would just stand there, just lay there on the ground and like look at me and I'm like, all right, you can just lay there. We can just relax for a while.
Yeah, I think she was more giving a metaphor of dog chasing its tail.
Yeah.
Like in circles. She's like, I'm going in circles. I ain't catching this goddamn tail. And I think she meant it like I'm over it. Like I'm not over it. But she was a fighter. She's showing me she was a fighter. She's like, I'm a fighter, not a biter. I'm like,
that is true.
I'm a fighter, not a biter.
I was like,
is she happy now?
Yes. She showed her eyes. She has brown eyes.
She had like brownish black eyes, yeah.
Her eyes. Well,
that could be my new stage name, though, James.
She says she's got a little
fighter,
gold.
Not a biter.
Oh yeah, her eyes are better. Saying the eyes are better. She said they're more gold.
she had some cataracts at the end, so they were kind of
Eyes are better.
filmed over.
Yep. So she's showing me her eyes are better now. She has gold instead of the white. She's saying they're gold. The gold, whatever, you know, you have gold in your eye, because she showed me her eyes. Let me ask if she has any messages for you. Did she lick you a lot?
Oh my god. All the time.
I don't know, like a what? Yeah, because she was just like,
When I first got her, the picture they sent me of her was of her licking someone's face, and I said, "She's my dog."
that's what she just showed me. So what do you want to say? And she did the lip. She showed me the tongue.
Yep. She was a licker. Everybody always said that.
Huh? Yeah, she just showed me that. Let me see if she has anything to say. She likes to be talked to, like she showed, because like I'm having to talk to her higher self, like saying like doggy talk, like my sweet little angel. Did you say that stuff to her?
All the time.
You know, you're doing this, or she likes that. She's showing me she likes the, you know, when I address her, she's like showing me that's what I like.
Now, do you have your cards in your hand, Heather?
Yeah, I have my cards.
Okay, now, how does the cards work with all this?
Well, the cards, so I usually shuffle the question into the cards. And unfortunately, this deck, you know, there's so many cards, I have to lay them all out like almost like a storyboard. And then I read it, and then I ask people, you know, questions and see if I'm, you know, I tell them what I see, and then ask them, is this? Or somebody asks me a question, right? Somebody will say, you know, tell me about the situation. And I tell them about the situation from what I see, and then I hear. So I'll get corrected, just like the dog corrected me. So it'd be like, today I did that. Before I got on the phone, I threw some cards down, and I was like, what? Like right before I went on with you. I didn't like what I saw. I was like, what the heck's that? And I was a little nervous. And then on the spirit on the other side told me, corrected me. I go, oh, yeah, gotcha. I got you. So.
Can I ask you one other question?
Yeah.
And see what she tells you. Can you ask her what she did on the last night to let me know it was okay?
Well, did she curl up a lot?
Yeah.
She's showing me more like in a donut shape. I don't know why her head is going up and down. Yeah, she's showing me she like looks up, look down. What is she doing? Wait. Oh! Okay. So she's saying that, she felt like she was doing, like being punished or something. Not by you. She felt very guilty about leaving. It's like, oh yeah, she's showing me like, okay, this is what she's saying. So my mom does this, so she'll watch TV and she'll go, I'm not sleeping, I'm not going to sleep, I'm awake. She didn't want to, that, yeah. You know what? Okay, I'm getting the reverse. She didn't show you anything. She's showing you, she was trying to stay. I don't think she was really showing you she had to go. She was trying like for you. She just keeps showing me like, I'm not falling asleep. I'm not going. I'm still here. Okay, I'm good. I'm going to be sticking around. So she tried to keep her head up for you. She keeps showing me her head, her eyes looking up.
That makes sense, James?
It does. It does.
It's not like telling you, you know, yeah, okay. It's not like she was saying, time to go. She was doing the opposite. She's like, I'm trying to stay. Okay, I'm doing this. I'm doing this.
Yeah, I think that was at the vet's office because they gave her a shot to kind of settle her down.
Sure. She was really stressed.
And she was very stressed, and she would just kind of like lower her head, and like then she'd open her eyes. So that's exactly what she did.
Oh, that's what she's showing me. It made me a little sad. But I feel very sad. Yeah, she really loved you, and that she must be really sad because I feel very sad. But she really didn't want to go. Sorry. She really didn't want to go.
I didn't want to let her go, but she was in too much pain, and she couldn't walk, so.
Yeah, she really didn't want to go, and that she felt like she was doing something wrong, by leaving. So yeah, but she's good. She's good now. She's good now. She just she's very, very, she's so stressed about hurting you.
No, she's just if you could tell her she didn't hurt me.
I know.
I just wanted to take away her pain.
Yeah, she's very, very nervous. She's saying she was super nervous because she shows me she shakes. She's shaking. But she's good now. Yeah, she's good. She's more worried about you. She's a sweet dog. She's more worried about you than herself. She's just like, I'm good. Like, I think here's the thing is like, she really knew she needed to go. Like, she was like, I know I need to go. I don't know if he's ready for us to go. So she was doing her for you.
Yep.
But they're okay with leaving. Dogs are okay with leaving. It's that they, she felt very happy because it's almost she was like asking your permission. She's just a sweet dog. They're okay with leaving because they understand. I always say dog backwards is God. And there's a reason for that.
Oh, wow. I never thought of that. That's so funny.
Because they're God has a way of being stern. There's a movie with Brad Pitt in it called what's that Brad Pitt movie when he's
Benjamin Buttons?
No, not Benjamin Button. It's the other one. Meet Joe Black. And in Meet Joe Black, anyway, if you ever see Meet Joe Black, it's very good performance by
Brad Pitt.
Robert Redford, because he looks so much like
Redford.
Anyway, but he's about to. He plays death. Anyway, he plays death, and then he comes back, and he's a human, and then at the end, he's got to take what's his face with him. He's got to take a famous actor, Anthony Hopkins. He's like, we got to go. And Anthony Hopkins is like, doesn't realize he's turned back into death, and he's like, oh, okay, right, yeah, and he's like, letting go. It's really hard, right? And Brad Pitt has no emotion. He's like, yes, it is. We gotta go. It's time. This is it. So that's how sort of like God are like, he can't be. People are like, how could God let this happen? God's more like, I
got nothing to do with it. It is what it is.
Just go. Sorry.
Well, I just want to thank you for channeling her or speaking to Maya, and I miss her every day, and thank you for what you do.
Oh yeah, she's happy. She loves you. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, I won't stay on. I'll let some other people, come on if they want, or you can talk about other things. So,
dog. In fact, get a vet dog, or what are those vet
rescue dogs?
Yeah. Well, Maya was a rescue dog.
Yeah,
she came from Alabama.
So get another one. She wants you to get another one. She's like, get another one.
Okay. I plan to. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, buddy. Bye, buddy. Bye. Wow. That's pretty intense. Is that how it normally comes to you in that way? And I just want you to know, like I told you, my buddy Nathan was going to pop up. I'm hearing some static. And then he made a comment to me earlier every time, but he says these are the best shows. He always enjoys when we have folks like yourself on. So now, is it just now you had your cards up? I'm curious how you were reading the cards earlier before the show started, where you were like, "Oh, I was getting bad juju." Like,
not you from my situation.
I was curious. I was like, Wonder what that was saying.
Yeah, that was, well, I was like, I just asked the cards, like, what's around me? What's happening around me at the moment? Or why? You know, like sometimes you just called, I don't know why I did it. And then I was like, oh,
Now-
look, what the hell is that? And then so I was like, oh, that's not good. And then I asked her, you know, clarifying what that, I said, can you clarify like what the hell that is? And then as I looked at it again, I was like, oh, this isn't good. And then I heard in my ear, they're like, no, this is, do this or this. Oh, okay. I was like, all right.
Now, why playing cards over tarot cards?
You know, well, for me, like tarot is hard for me because it's so interpretive, and you gotta be, you know, tarot card readers are really good. You really have to know you have to have a lot of intuition to be a tarot card reader, because you have to kind of know because the cards look a certain way, so you can't just be basic tarot reader and be like, this is the sun is coming out, like, okay, like readers like that's not much effort. You could do that by looking at the picture, right? Well,
Right.
the sun is out. Oh, so what does that mean?
Look, the sun's out. You're gonna have a bright and shiny day.
Happiness is coming, but maybe it doesn't mean that. Maybe it means something else. Maybe it means summertime. I don't know. Or kids. So, but the playing deck, like I had a reader that I read with, and she did the playing deck, and then I realized that with the playing deck, it's sort of like numerology, and then and the face cards are people and their hair color, and then the numbers next to them can tell me someone's age. I just get more out of it. Above their head, I can see what they're thinking.
So now, how does that show? Now, you said you're not, you don't see things, but you see that. You can see if somebody's has those abilities, and that shows up.
I just realized, like, wait a minute, with dogs I do see. People I don't. That's weird. Okay, I don't know. I just realized that. I'm like, I do see.
Well, dogs are more fun.
Yeah. Okay, no, see, I hear. So it's either someone around me that's telling me. I would assume it's like a guide of mine telling me, correcting me, or telling me, no, it's not. Or I'll mix the words, because you know, at any reader, you have to. So if you're a doctor, right, and you put up an X-ray on the screen, doctors, if you watch them, even they went to medical school for all these years, but they're like, they have to look at something. Even a lawyer, you're looking at a document. They're not like speed reader. They're like, hold on, give me a minute.
They're digging through it.
Let me see. Okay, so that's the same thing with I have to look and be like, wait, and I talk to myself, you know, I'm reading, or talk to the client. I'm like, is this wait, what do you mean? You mean unexpected? What's unexpected? Something unexpected? Yeah. And so I'm asking the question, and I may hear back like, no, it's expected. Oh, okay, God, thank you. Okay, because if it doesn't make sense to me, I just mumble around it and be like, are they leaving? Wait, what? Are they leaving? Are they staying? Are they leaving? And someone usually tells me.
So now now that was with an animal. Is that really where your focus is, or more of what you see as a psychic is? And is that the right term for you, a psychic or medium? Or
I don't like the word. Like, I have an agent, and he's like, you're an intuitive card reader.
okay, as an intuitive card reader, is it mostly animal based, or do you also, you know, people show up, loved ones?
Oh, as far as no, I can read for anything. I read on like big news stories. I can read on your, you know, what you're eating for dinner. I read on everything. So I do. I mean, I love animals. I do animal communication. That's an extra gift that I have. But you know, some people, I don't really focus on one thing. I sort of cover relationships with people, business, because I figure it's like I'm the advisor. I advise people on anything, on their relationships, on their business, on where they should be headed, going in their life. Are they on the right direction? So I think of myself more like that, but I have a twist, you know, with the psychic ability.
What was that?
My son.
Oh, I was like, what was that? I thought you had a bear in the house for a minute. She's in California. She got a California bear in the house. So all right. So I'm gonna be a nosy on myself then. So would you have time to read the podcast? Is that a thing? Would that be a thing?
Yeah. Oh, you want to see how the podcast's gonna do?
I want to see how the podcast is gonna do, because like I put a lot of work into this. But should I just go ahead and quit now and be like, we're done, or should we keep going? All right. I wish I had the Jeopardy music because that would be great right now, but it'd probably be wrong.
Yeah, let me just clean the cards real quick here.
Now, how do you clean the cards?
Oh,
What
with
is
the
that?
Palo Santo. So the Palo Santo will clean I just clean out the old energy from the person I read before. So I'll just ask the cards, please get rid of whatever.
What is Palo Santo?
Palo Santo is like a clears out negative energy. So sometimes if I can read for myself, I don't want it to get in your reading, so I got to clean the cards because you don't. So I'll clean these and ask to get out, and then I can clean myself to make sure I don't have any negative energy attached to me that's going to affect your reading. And then I also, like most readers do, they blow on the deck and then hit the cards.
We used to, growing up in Baltimore, we used to have a place called the Palmer House. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it or not,
Yeah.
But it was a pretty famous place in Baltimore that if you were a card reader or you did tarot cards, is your son picking on you right now? Is that what's going on?
Yes, Dane.
Does he want to come on the screen? Come here.
Say
Come
hello.
on. Come say hello.
Hello
What's up there, brother man?
there.
Can you see it?
Yes, he has a third. He works with his third eye, right?
What does that mean? What does that mean for you?
He gets like downloads. So he sees in the third dimension. So he sees through the Ashna. His Ashna, everybody has Ashna. You have it too. It's his third eye, so he sees like a vision.
Does that assist in any way with roadblocks or with Minecraft? Does it assist in any way?
Yes, his two favorite.
Does it help with either one of those?
But you missed one.
See, because my son, who's 12, you look like you're probably about 8 or 9.
8.
I'll give you one more chance to guess the other one.
Okay, so it's not. So we said Roblox. We said Minecraft. Let me think about it for a minute.
It's the most popular game in the meme system.
Oh my gosh, the most popular game in the meme system. You
It
got me.
It has so many memes.
So many memes. Pac-Man.
Pac-Man doesn't have any memes. I'll give you one last chance.
Okay, one last chance. Let me think about that for a minute. One more. If you guys are out there and you know what the most, okay, Nathan just sent me a message. I'm going to use Nathan because Nathan is like my third eye chakra. He's my partner. He says Fortnite.
Oh, and also it's murder mystery.
Oh, Five Nights with Freddy.
Yeah.
It's not a murder mystery.
No, it's a pizzeria.
I thought Five Nights with Freddy was a murder mystery.
No, it's a survive the killer game.
Wouldn't that be a murder mystery?
Kind of. He kills people, right?
Yeah, Freddy like.
Okay, you got me, brother man. Which is it?
Hurry up.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Oh, Among Us. The alien spaceship game thing. I know.
Yeah.
John.
And guess what? There's updates. And
Oh
guess what?
no.
Play on the first update. Can I tell you about the first update?
Dang, not yet.
Well, actually, my first guest ever was my son, who's 12 now. 2 years ago, when he was 10, and we went on an entire thing about this whole thing about how he actually believes that the downloaded video games that cost the same price as going to the store video games are worth it, because his opinion on it was, but Dad, it's just convenient. You don't have to spend your gas money and you don't have to worry about it not being at the store. He was like 9, 10 years old when he came up with this argument. And I was like, you're way too smart for your own good, kid.
Oh, that's so cute.
All right. So tell us about the show and where we should be. Nathan sent me a message a minute ago. He says I shouldn't shut the show down. He says, keep going, brother. We have lots of guests lined up. And we do. We have next week. Guess what?
Shut the chat. Okay, let's look at you.
Let's look at this. Let's do this.
Okay, here we go. Okay. You want to, so we're looking at the entire show, or you specifically and doing this show?
Here's what we now, and I don't know if I need to tell you specifically, or should we say whatever comes to you, whichever vibe you get off.
Okay, of. But you should look at. Well, I don't know.
Can I talk during this while you're doing that part?
Dane, you have to go because I can't focus.
tell us how
Okay.
she thinks things are going to go for the show.
So it's showing it's showing a woman. Yeah, okay. So what it does is this is the secret to the show. You're saying that it is uplifts people. It's about uplifting people who feel down, and like you talked about earlier about the vets who nobody sees. So they're saying that there are people watching your podcast that don't feel seen and that are feeling down, not feeling more like a depression, but it's to pick them up. Like everybody has a mission statement, and like that's a Palo Santo. Hey, the mission statement, like every business should have a mission statement, whether it's in your mind or you write it down. So they're saying that's your mission statement. You can write it the way you want it, is to uplift people.
I will agree with that. We
It's
say
to
it's a
bring
human
people
interest story, who you
And-
are, what you do, and what makes you great.
Yeah. They're saying that's the secret sauce because you got to stay to the mission statement. There's a woman connected to that. I don't know who she is. It might be your wife. Is it your wife? Did she tell you that?
Would you like to see the woman she might not come down, but there is definitely a woman connected. I will 110% admit that I wanted to do the show and talked to my wife about it, and I never would get up off my butt and buy the equipment. I was being cheap. And for Father's Day in 2020, my wife bought me all the equipment. And
I know it's her then. She's the woman behind it. Yeah.
100%.
Oh, that's her. Does she have dark hair? Any red in her hair or?
No red, but definitely dark.
Dark. Okay. Because sometimes it's a little red. Sometimes when people stand in the sun with dark hair, they get a little red. But it's her, a dark haired lady. Okay, there she is. She's the one. She came through first. So she's telling me. There you are. I got to get your age. I won't do your age if you don't want.
You can try.
Oh, I'll try. Okay, so let me see. And then your hair. What's your real hair color? Dark or brown?
If you get my real hair color compared to what it is right now, what I grew up with, I'll be like at that point, we'll be super impressed.
Lighter.
What's
I can't
that?
see your eye, but you were probably lighter hair, right?
When I was little, I was a towhead blonde.
That's what I thought. Okay, so do you have a son and a daughter?
I don't have any biological daughters.
Okay, but who are the children? Just like
There's a lot of them. There's a plethora.
okay. And then where do you live? Okay, I'm just gonna. You live in a near? Is it like a country or out? Do you have an outdoors or a patio or?
Yeah.
Outdoors. You go outside a lot
Yes.
in the yard.
Oh yes.
You guys all go in the yard. Okay, so but I was gonna say you're late 40s to 50s. Is that right?
I'm 45.
45 exactly. There we go. Okay, I got you then. Because it said 45 to 51. So what that tells me is this. Did you start it around 44, this podcast?
How old was I?
Or
So 2020, however old I was in 2020. I have to
yeah,
think about that.
yeah. Okay. So you're like 40, so a little younger. Okay. So what it's saying is that trying something new. All right. The saying, don't get in your head about it. Like, don't you put on like you're good at making money. I mean, you're very solid. You could do anything and turn it into like an empire. But when it comes to this, you get a little more worried, it says, for some weird reason. So you've got all this, you could like turn around, Microsoft. And then when it comes to this, you're like, oh God, this will probably fail. And they're like, what? Why? Universe says, why? That's not true. So because you're a very responsible person, and when it comes to your home, so you come from that, it's saying that I don't know whether you're tying it in with that. Like you're looking at it like I'm gonna go somewhere with this, as far as still maintaining a secure home. So yeah, it's funny because you think about money a lot, or investments or something. Do you think about that a lot?
Oh, absolutely. And now you know what's funny is as you're talking, I just had a cool breeze. Now I'm in my basement. There is zero point 0.0 windows. There is no way air could move around in here. And I just had a cool breeze. Just go from
Ooh.
my right to left.
Oh, interesting. So it also talks about, I don't know, let's talk about your life. I don't know why I should be talking about your show. They're also talking about you want to maybe change your living arrangements. You want to do something different with the home.
Well, my wife will come running downstairs at any minute right now and be like, son of a gun, she's nailed it. We always want to we definitely would like to either build an addition or move to a new house.
You can do it. I really think that's something you can do because something about this has money with it. But
yeah, I'm broke is what that is.
it says, yeah, because you're looking at money a lot in here, but it's something to do with the home, making sure your home is secure. So I see how that ties in with it. But so it's like you threw your hat in the ring is what it says. You're like, I threw my hat in the ring, but you're getting better at the meet and greets, they're saying. So it's all about your meet and greets, like your meet and greets with people. So you'll be very successful with that. And it's all about over time building your confidence. So little by little, it's going to get better and better and better. That's the good news, because you're going to be like, you'll be like Ryan Seacrest in no time.
I'll be the old bearded Ryan Seacrest.
No, because this could no. Well, he's good. He's getting up there.
He's
too.
my age. You know that, right? He is 45.
He's 45 now. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he's my age.
That's like a baby to me. But
well, look, if I had his money, I could pay for all the doctors and everything else that goes along with it. But yeah, him and I are the same age.
Yes. So here's what's good about this. Okay, it's more talking about you. Sorry, I'll have to look back.
That's fine. Talk about me. I like me.
It's saying this is giving you renewed faith. A new faith. It's like new faith. You have new faith in things because of doing this. It's like therapy for yourself, is what it says. This is almost very therapeutic for you. But I think you can try with the show. This is what's great, why it will be successful, because everyone you're so good at this anyway, but everyone you have on, you can invite. They're like, the invitations are endless. You didn't lock yourself into anything, which is what's great about it. You can invite, a monkey and his pet rat on, and they'll be fine. They'll be like, oh, we're good. You can also get into someone like a therapist who talks about, it's a plethora of information, this show, because this is what's really interesting about it. Because some podcasts, they lock into one thing. And they're saying, don't do that. You got to be like, Jimmy Kimmel Live, you're having a bunch of different guests on all the time. You're chatting it up with everybody.
Well, whoever's on the other end of those cards, I would like to hug them right now, because that is what I'm all about. Do you know just throw this in? You know who's next week? I have one. Do you remember the band Tag Team? They have They have the commercial right now. Scoop, there it is.
Yes,
they have the song Whoop, there it is. I got DC Glenn from that band. He's on next week, but I overbooked myself, and I didn't realize I overbooked myself. So we're going to do him at 6 p.m. and then we're going to have a little bit of a break in between so I can eat something. And then later we have this band called Ghostastic, who's a rock band who does paranormal investigations.
Oh, I love those people. That's okay. So that's what I'm saying. So the contrast, right? You got one day you got, this lady on giving therapy to people, and the next day you got a rock band on. That's like a talk show, right? You're like, tonight's guest, we got coming up, boom, boom, boom. And they all, okay, yeah, they're even telling you get a little band in the back,
I would love to have a band.
like Jimmy Kimmel band. Like or play a little music on your way out, or they're showing me music around you.
I love music.
So adding a little music as your theme song, or get a theme song as you go off the air.
I'm loving this.
Yeah.
James just sent a message. Sean loves talking about himself. Yes, absolutely. Nobody loves me more than I do.
Well, the good news, that's why you're in front of the camera and the microphone. Well, I mean, my God, all of us are, that want to be on TV. Of course, you better have that, because that's what makes you, that's what makes you shouldn't be sitting there if you don't, that's really the truth. But also here's what you're good at. Even though you say you love talking about yourself, you actually, being a host, are very good at letting people, you have the gift of letting people talk about themselves. So that's your strong suit, really, because you can sort of identify with it, but also it's like, I always say, like Ryan Seacrest, like he's a very good at what he does. And people though may be like, oh, it's so easy. It's really hard what that guy does. First, he's like a waiter. So whenever you eat, they say a good waiter you never see. That's him. He's like, with the idol contestants, he's in the background. He never makes anything about him. And that's why Kelly Ripa, I always say, picked him as a co-host, because Kelly Ripa will kill you. She was Michael Strahan. You try to come in front of me, she's like,
she's a beast. I love that show. I ain't gonna lie. I watch.
Like, Michael's like, hey, I got a right to be here just like you. So I can, and Ryan's like, I'm just getting the check. I'm good. You talk all you want.
Well, he is definitely 110%. He is today's Dick Clark. He's Dick Clark. And Dick Clark passed that baton to him. I would tell anyone, that guy, what a lot of people don't realize, when he does live with Kelly and Regis, or with Kelly and Regis, with on the live show, a lot of times he flies from he was flying from California back to New York multiple times, because he still does his radio show.
Yeah.
I would absolutely, like, you have no idea. Listen, Heather, I'm telling you right now, 110%. I would throw caution to the wind for the right gig. If the right person, that's why I tell everybody, there's 10 people watching right now. We've stayed anywhere between not 8 to 10 all night long. I tell people all the time, share the living daylights out of this, because I need somebody to see me and go, that guy right there.
Yeah. That's what it's saying to do. That it is a new opportunity, and it's just going to get better and better. Dane, stop that, please. Thank you. Because they also say you have a goal with your house. You're saying your house is, keep it in mind. That's what you want to do. You're working toward like a goal. It's like a weight loss thing. You're working at your goal, and you want to do the house. So they say keep that in your mind, that you have a goal, that you want to do these improvements and such. But they're saying it's an investment. You made an investment. Think of it as an investment that you've made, and you got to pour into your investment.
Interesting. So
really take it serious. They're saying you want to take it there.
You got me going here. So now, well, let me ask this. Anything else is telling you? Anything else we got out there?
Well, it's good. It's you're within. They're saying you can reach like not perfection, but it can get. It's going to be what you really were hoping to achieve. So that's good news. But they want it to be like I said, like a therapy session for people. And there is the good news is there is a man. They're saying, okay, well, they're saying this guy's saying something about wish removal. What's he saying?
Can you see what the man looks like?
Well, I don't know if this is. I don't know if this is someone's going to come and help you. He could be in his 60s, 65 to 69, 67. And he's like a wish granter kind of a guy. It is the card I use for God. That's what I'm struggling to think is God. Because he's saying the wish, like, we were talking about the crown chakra. He's sort of like talking about your wish is within reach. Keep talking about your home. So
They like my house, don't they? Like,
yeah, well, it's big for you, the house. It keeps talking about the house being motivating for you. And they're saying also talk to people like they're your friend.
yes,
Talk to
everyone.
people they're your friend. That's how it is, you know. The same thing Ryan Secret, like, you know, he talks to these kids and you think he's known them for years on Idol, right? He talks in general like he's your friend to the camera. So that's what they're saying. Like, you're the best friend. You're everybody's best friend. That's what they want you to be, everybody's best friend, which you are. So likable anyway. So it's so easy. You're very easygoing, which is great. At least dealing with me or dealing with the people. You're really easygoing. It makes people feel really at ease. And this is a gift that you have. So you're in the right seat, they're saying. There you go. They just said you're in the right seat.
Well, whoever they are, make sure they know that I like them.
I
I was curious when you were talking about the man because it has nothing to do with this, but I was very close. I wasn't close with my father growing up until I joined the Marine Corps, but then when I joined the Marine Corps, my father and I became very close. And my dad was like interesting man. I understood him better as I got older. I was actually just talking to my, not getting into too much, just talking to my stepmom today about my dad. And all of a sudden recently on my TikTok feed, I started getting people playing slots. Have you ever seen that on TikTok?
No.
Like there's these TikTok videos where people just play slots on TikTok, like, and people like, oh, bet this much, bet that much, and like they go through this whole thing. My dad loves slot machines, really loved it. And it started popping up recently. And I was talking to my stepmother today because I sent her something for Mother's Day, and she was like, I said, I got to tell you this. Like, this is so dad. My dad would have been the guy that, like, if he would have been still alive when TikTok had become kind of this thing that it is today, my old man would have been the guy sitting at the poker machine with the camera up, like playing the cards and doing this. My old man would have been that guy so much. He'd have had more followers than anyone just to do that because he knew all the superstitions, everything.
Oh, I hear my ear ringing. So yeah. How old was he when?
Let's see. My mom is 69 now. Okay. So my dad passed. My dad was 4 years older than her. So he was like 68, 69 when he passed.
Yeah, that's him. Because he's got 68, 69 around 69 around him. So it's him. Because he's pushing the wishes up. That's why I was like, what? That's why I was trying to decipher who he was. So what he's saying is that he's like sending you wishes. He's sending you good energy, and he's the one talking about your house. But he is sending you wishes. I don't know why he's sending them up. He's sending them.
You see that, Heather? Can you see that? Can you see that? That's a metallic heart.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
You know what that is? That's my dad. That's my dad's ashes. I keep my dad's ashes right next to the studio.
I love it. Well, he's got a bunch of hearts above his head. So,
yeah, in my the old man was
he tall?
Yes, that's actually been a running joke we've talked about 100 times on the show. So I am the shortest person in my family at 5'8" on my father's side. I was so short growing up as a kid, they sent me to a geneticist because they thought there was something wrong with me. Because my father was 6'1", 6'2", his brother's 6'3", 6'4". I have cousins that are 6'6", 6'7". Yeah, and then there's me. Even the women on my father's side of the family from my generation on are taller than I am. And I'm 5'8", and the women are the minimum height for a woman at my generation is 5'10". And then there's me.
Well, that's it. He's showing me he's tall. He's saying he's 6'1", but he's sort of like, was he? What color was his hair?
Same as mine.
Same as yours.
mine.
Like that. And your mom, was she lighter, or is your mom lighter?
Nope, my mother's still with us, and she dyes her hair lighter, but my mother had very dark black hair.
Light though, yeah.
That's right, James. Good. All great things come in small packages.
Yay.
That's right. Keep that in mind.
Well, he's there to help you. Okay, so he's sending you good energy. Your daddy's sending you all the hearts. So that's he's showing the heart. Oh, he's pretty funny, your dad.
The old man was very funny.
Your dad is showing me the hearts that go up on TikTok, or like when people push hearts on like Facebook. He's showing me sending those. He's like. He's hitting the like button.
Yeah, the old man was
And you got the metallic heart. That's weird.
Yep, the old man was something special. You know, there wasn't many like him. He was I patent a lot of my sales stuff and things that I do with people after him. He was different. He was definitely a different dude.
He's cool though, but that's what he's sending you. So he's sending the likes.
Oh, that it doesn't get any better than that in my book.
And you get the roses, he's sending you too. He's like, I'm hitting the button, I'm hitting the like button. He's doing it for you.
I'm telling you, my dad would have so loved TikTok. He would have been all over those videos.
He is on TikTok, he's saying.
He would have like those slot machines. The old man would have been in Vegas. He'd have made my stepmother move to Vegas just so he could sit in front of slot machines all day with his phone.
I love it. But he's there for you. He is sending the likes. He's saying I am. He's promoting you from the other side. So this is good. He's saying he's the one sending the wishes and the hearts. So
I got to tell you, what you're doing, Heather, is also very therapeutic. It really is. Because you get people to open up and talk about their family and talk about people that we all, you know, that they want to be around them. And I believe in it. And I'll throw the other side to the coin if you don't believe in what this is. And I've got so many experiences in my life that you cannot explain. They're not explainable. My mother and I, to this day, if we're on the same thought wave, I'll hear my mother's voice yell for me. She's still around. And that happened to me the first time I remember it. I was I used to play a lot of sports going in high school, so my legs would hurt. And I was that kid that I didn't grow a lot, but when I grew, I had growing pains. You know, your little man, he'll start getting those soon here, those growing pains, and your legs hurt and they're sore. And they sucked. And I used to take hot tubs to deal with it. And I can remember one time sitting in a hot tub, and I heard my mother's voice in the downstairs. I was upstairs, yell for me. Fuck, is mom yelling for me? Got out. I'm like, yelled back, no response. Went downstairs, searched the whole house. She wasn't home. Came back and I went, Mom. She got home from work. I said, Mom, were you thinking about me in the car? She goes, absolutely. I said, I heard you yell my name. And that's happened to me so many times. It's happened with my wife where she'll be somewhere and you hear that. What'd you say? I didn't say anything. And what I've started to do, and I'll tell anyone who experiences this to do this. If you think you heard someone say something and they're like, no, I didn't. Ask them what they were thinking about at the moment. I cannot tell you how many times I've done that where I've said to somebody, hey, you know, what are you thinking about? You know, how does this come along? And they go, well, I was thinking about this. And I go, so was I. I heard you. So you're
right on the money. No, you're on. It's like how you hear it, right? It comes to everybody differently, whether it's a voice of the person or it's a voice of someone else. It's you hear it. People don't have trouble receiving that they're.
That's
already hear something and you're like, I was just thinking about something like yesterday. I was just telling my son, the only person in the room, so he could be my confirmation. And I said something, and then the phone rang. It was the person. And I wasn't talking about that person. I was talking about the idea. And I haven't heard from this lady in like 2 years. And right when I'm thinking that, I was like, so it tells me I'm
We're
in
all
alignment.
connected.
Huh?
We're all connected.
Yeah, we're all connected. I'm in alignment. But what it says about you is that you're in alignment because you're hearing information and that's good. So you're acting. They're trying to get your attention. The universe is always trying to get our attention. So if we don't, then they as Oprah says, first it's a whisper or a tap, a whisper, and a boulder on your head. They are always trying to get your attention. Like turn left, left, left. Didn't I say left? I said left. Like, oh, I want to go right. They're like, oh, okay. So so you are. I think it is.
It's
It is
amazing. And you are
yeah.
amazing. Heather, you are amazing. You are the
Thanks.
advisor.
Yes,
We're everybody, please take your time. Go to heathertheadvisor.com if you want to meet with Heather, if you want to have a private reading, you want to have a private conversation with her. Also, she's on Instagram at it's at the advisor at _advisor. I believe is if I remember. It's at the _advisor, and that's spelled ADVIZER. Make sure you go ahead and you check Heather out there. LinkedIn is Heather Lawerance, and normal spelling of Heather, normal spelling of Lawerance, and nothing special there. Yeah. That's on LinkedIn. Make sure you're checking her. Do you do any live engagements? You got anything live coming up? Anything like that?
Haven't really done that. I do like more
private
TV
one-on-one kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't like TikTok stuff. I haven't branched out to that yet. I think that's being inundated. They're inundated with people yelling at them, and yes. I don't do well with that and reading screens and then what you ask, and the whole thing. So it's probably a smart thing to do that. I just do like little like for my advisor, I do like therapy Thursday, message Monday, and I give you little tidbits, and then you follow those. But I'm more do like TV stuff and things like that.
Well, I love it. And we didn't even touch on it. I think Heather and I could probably talk for another couple of hours, but we don't want to take her time away from the young man. He's got his different shows and all the same things my own kids play, Roadblocks and Minecraft and Among Us and all those things. Oh God, they drive me nuts. My 4-year-old though.
How about the YouTubers?
Oh God, I don't get it. I'm trying. I'm on YouTube. This is on YouTube. Oh, I don't get the yelling. I'm not a yeller.
They're playing in Minecraft, and they're getting paid millions of dollars to play video games, and they're like Preston Plays. I like Preston Plays. He's fun.
Yep. So make sure everybody takes the time and they go out and they find Heather Lawerance in all those locations where you can find her. Make sure you give her a good like, follow. All of her stuff on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere you can find Heather. Make sure also, if you're hearing us and because of Heather, you found us, make sure you give us a like, follow on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, and also our email is at the Above the Bar podcast or the Above the Bar podcast at gmail.com. And wherever you subscribe to podcasts, make sure you go ahead and reach out to us. James wanted you to know, Heather, thank you, Heather, and thank you to me. James, absolutely, always. We got to hang out sometime real soon. But James is amazing. I love James.
He's great.
He is. In his drag shows. If you ever make it to the left coast out or to the right coast out here, we'll have to take you out to go see one of their drag shows. They're so much fun.
What's the city you're in?
We're in Albany, New York.
Oh, that's beautiful.
We're in Albany, and we do drag brunches. We love drag brunches.
That's great. Yeah, I want to
go like once a month. I got to actually send my thing in. James, remind me, I got to send my thing in to Magoo's so I can for June 5th, I think is what it is.
That's so cool. I love it.
Donnie Magoo's. So as always, as tradition on the show, the guest gets the last word. Don't log off on me. We got to talk for just a moment. The guest gets the last word. So what is the last word for everyone tonight, Heather?
What's the last word? I think it's good to get like people who never got a reading. It's good to get a reading. It like gives you a good read on sort of what's going on around you, and maybe something you didn't see, or give you guidance. It's always good to do that. for a quick tune-up. I say it's like a little tune-up. See what's going on around you. It's not scary. You're not going to hear any horrific news or bad news. It's nothing like that. It's more to steer you in the right direction.
Alrighty, folks. Be sure to push your stool in.
This has been an Earplug Podcast presentation. Found on earplugpodcast.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever your favorite podcasts are found.